Accept defeat, Rex. You can never compete in a race with the velociraptors.
It's a trap!
The reasons leading to the outbreak of the Second World War are various and complex. The conflict lasted for 6 years, from 1939 to 1945. The parties involved and battlegrounds fought were numerous too. After all, they called it a world war for a good reason. Therefore, what we propose today is a brief, intense, and pragmatic summary of the entire conflict.
Funny.
I got a D in history in junior high, so go easy on me.
Don't you dare touch anything.
With such threatening bows, I can only imagine the effect it would have to face them on the high seas. You look like you're waiting for someone.
I'm waiting for one of my countless suitors to get the nerve to come forward.
What would keep them from doing it?
Exactly what I've been asking myself. I'm afraid everybody is too scared of my beauty.
The burden of being so beautiful, yes. What should this mythical Prince Charming be like?
For centuries now, I've been waiting. We queens too have certain needs to satisfy. I just want to find a good mummy to spend the rest of infinity with.
That shouldn't be so difficult after all.
Don't rub it in.
What happened to the pharaoh?
The servants found him dead, poisoned by the bite of a snake. I remember I was so angry with him. Not that the two things were connected, obviously.
Of course, of course. I have a dilemma.
Don't you think you're too young?
What?
You can't be more than 15. Well, it's true that my beauty transcends age after all.
Actually, I didn't want to hit on you.
Do you think I'm not attractive enough?
No, absolutely, you are. I didn't mean to.
You better.
I'll leave you to your undertakings, my queen. I have a letter from Mr.
What a sweet little wrapped fluffy. Yes, I think I'll accept his proposal. Let's just skip the small talk and the engagement ring. I have no time to waste. Did you bring the wedding rings?
I have the wedding rings with me, my queen.
What are you standing there for? Find us a priest to perform our wedding ceremony.
Actually, I think I've already done more than enough.
It's an order! We're having the ceremony over at the meteor at the Roswell Lake. What a romantic place. Now go. I have to get ready.
What do you want?
Do you like being a night watchman?
I'm filling in for my cousin, just for tonight.
Yes, he told me.
So you probably know I accepted because I hate Halloween. It gets on my nerves.
What kind of childhood trauma did you suffer to have such an aversion?
Once a guy slammed a gigantic pumpkin right on my head. It took 4 days before doctors could get me out of it.
Maybe that chair is a bit too high for you.
And to think it was the smallest one I could lay my hands on.
I suppose you needed a ladder to sit on it.
At least I can easily get to the console this way.
What about that heart rate monitor?
I'm a heart patient. I need it to check my pulse.
Maybe if you didn't drink so much coffee.
That's easy for you to say. Night shifts here are deadly boring.
Small, chubby, and a heart patient. Is there anything else?
Your sarcasm leaves me completely indifferent. You have the reigning national champion of the insult contest in front of you, in case you didn't know.
Nobody and nothing can beat my sharp tongue.
Show me then.
Do your parents have full-sized kids too?
Attacking my height. You can't think of something new?
You'll end up with bad posture if you stay so long in this place.
Anything's better than the sight of your ugly face. I thought you were better than this. What a disappointment.
This time, I'm sure I can do this.
Be my guest, newbie.
You will never be half the guard your cousin is, that's for sure.
That's more than I can endure.
Behind you, an aortic dissection.
Right in the chest with surgical perfection.
Perhaps your heart has been pierced by Cupid's arrow.
Just my luck he'd hit a target that narrow.
Your name is the worst that I ever knew.
I wouldn't say that to Wreck-It Ralph if I were you.
Don't you get bored looking at those screens so madly?
A little, but your parents left the porn industry, sadly.
You have serious problems with halitosis.
You'd better be worried about your osteoporosis.
All that coffee will kill you. Be careful with it.
It gives me the energy to insult till you quit.
Your Netflix subscription has been hacked.
I'd rather prefer to be whacked.
In my excitement of Star Wars The Phantom Menace, I couldn't stay in my seat.
My asthma. I can't breathe.
I've never seen someone with a tummy so large.
Still better than having just bones and cartilage.
From the look of things, the pumpkin shape on your skull is still visible.
The pain it causes me to talk of that fruit makes me miserable.
Quick! Emergency in the Egyptian room!
The mummies must have woken up to mock your ugly costume.
You'll end up with bad posture if you stay so long in this place.
Anything's better than the sight of your ugly face.
You're too tense. It isn't good for your health to do all that plotting.
Said the guy whose carcass is rotting. I thought you were better than this. What a disappointment.
Your cousin wanted to know if it was all okay here.
Yeah, right. I have so many unruly visitors to keep at bay. What is he afraid of? The Anubis statues will come back to life?
I'll let you work in peace.
What do you want?
This time, I'm sure I can do this.
Be my guest, newbie.
You will never be half the guard your cousin is, that's for sure.
That's more than I can endure.
Behind you, an aortic dissection.
Right in the chest with surgical perfection.
Your Netflix subscription has been hacked.
I'd rather prefer to be whacked.
Perhaps your heart has been pierced by Cupid's arrow. The soldiers are still operational and in action. Your firecrackers or your life?
Do you think you can scare someone dressed like that?
Not even a fly.
Now that I notice, I've never seen a more ridiculous Halloween costume.
Really awful.
I'm afraid I will just have to come up with something else. Nowadays, our generation is too desensitized by TV and video games. Thanks a lot, HBO. Grandma, 2 kids are out here making fun of me.
Is someone being mean to my little Ronnie? Brats! Don't worry, honey. Now Grandma will take care of them. You should have seen their faces.
First of all, we extract the gunpowder. And now... I would need something to attach it to the safe. You didn't think for a moment that someone might hear the bang of the explosion and call the police?
"28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds. That is when the world will end."
Can you turn the music up full volume?
"I'm here. Come. Come closer."
"30 seconds should be enough. Maybe I overdid it with the gunpowder. Done. Why the sad face?
Everyone my own age has bouncy and long hair. What about me? I practically lost mine.
Losing your hair in the 80s is just about the worst thing that could happen.
Twenty-eight. 28 days.
Express Courier, 24 hours, 7 days a week. 0084588901. All packages must be impact proof, water repellent, and the contents must be clearly indicated outside the box.
Hello, Hippie Express Courier. How can I help you?
Good evening. I'd like to arrange the delivery of a casket to number 13 Friday Avenue. Expenditures are charged to the consignee.
Are you aware of the packaging regulations of our service?
Tell me.
To avoid damage during transportation, we ask you to wrap the object with a material that can soften impact. Usually it's plastic or bubble wrap, but you can use any solution you prefer.
At this moment, I don't think I can satisfy this requirement.
I invite you to call us back as soon as the situation is resolved then. In the meantime, thanks for your call. Goodbye.
Day.
Well, it's water resistant for sure.
Days, 6 hours.
Listen, Son of God, since you're one of the creator's superstars, I was wondering if you could preside over the wedding of a friend of mine.
Well, actually, I'm the owner of that massive franchise of chapels, churches, and cathedrals. Who better than me, right? I'm just a little too drunk. I could use a very small bit of help, but not from above, because if my father sees me in this condition, I'll have to wait millennia for the next coming. A short review on I now pronounce you happily ever after. Now you can kiss the bride, but discreetly. That kind of thing.
Could this help?
Just what I needed. We'll see you at the wedding then.
But you don't even know where the wedding is.
Brother, I may be wasted, but I'm still omniscient after all. See you later. By the power vested in me by my father, I now pronounce you man and wife. And now, come back home to update your relationship status on Facebook.
A bit of lateral thinking surely doesn't hurt, but here we're getting into nonsense. They really couldn't wait to consummate their wedding night.
Be quiet, or my...
Hello, Hippie Express Courier. How can I help you?
Good evening. I'd like to arrange the delivery of a casket to number 13 Friday Avenue. Expenditures are charged to the consignee.
Are you aware of the packaging regulations of our service?
Tell me.
To avoid damage during transportation, we ask you to wrap the object with a material that can soften impact. Usually it's plastic or bubble wrap, but you can use any solution you prefer.
Yes, that's no problem.
We also ask that the outer casing of the package is absolutely water resistant. It might seem a strange demand, but in the past, our drivers have shown a certain fondness for watercourses in this area.
I'm equipped for that too.
And finally, it is necessary to identify the package with a written note clearly indicating its contents.
Yes, Alex, I have the solution.
Sorry, I don't think I heard correctly.
Oh, I mean, no problem.
I'll authorize a courier for your delivery. Thanks for calling us. Goodbye.
I'm waiting for a courier to take the wardrobe away. Could you maybe pack me inside using this kit? I have to create a nice prank.
Dude, I'm always ready to help out with these kind of things. I wish I could see his face. I can't imagine what a fright he will have.
Neither can I. Believe me. Ronald? Ronald, wake up! Ronald, it's me, Skinny. Do you really not recognize me? Remember? Me and you were going to conquer the world. We kept on saying that we were meant to do great things. Well, in a way, I guess that happened, but nobody could have imagined all this. You couldn't know about my allergy. Even I wasn't aware of it. Ultimately, there are a lot of perks to being dead. I have an infinite amount of free time, and I can eat everything I want without being worried about my weight. I'm even immune to electricity. Like I'm a superhero. I'm sorry you suffered so much. I know how tough things have been for you since that day. You have nothing to blame yourself for, believe me. I have nothing to blame you for. I couldn't breathe. I just heard you screaming. It wasn't difficult to understand what was going on. But incredibly, that was the last thing I remember. No light to follow, no extracorporeal experience, just a big nothing. Disappointing, don't you think? When I finally woke up, all was dark. It took me a while to realize I was in a wardrobe. In this wardrobe. I know, it's really absurd, but it's the truth. I've been brought back to life and now I'm a skeleton. You have to go back to talking. If you don't tell somebody about what happened that day, you'll end up being damned for eternity. That's why I'm here. Because I love you, Ronald.
Skinny! Skinny, wait! Don't go!
This party really died. Ah, yes, I almost forgot.